G'day ladies and gents, Danny Stewart for BassJapanDirect.com here with this beautiful Moon JB5 Active. Now this is a long scale bass, 35 inches, and has quarter sawn neck and ebony fretboard, 22 frets, and high-end gotoh hardware, the Oxalis pickups, NT-MB preamp here, 3-band EQ, bass, mid, treble with cut, boost and notch on each parameter, and 2 individual volume controls and passive push-pull mode. So it's a very versatile instrument. Let's go, let's just do some simple checks, slap check with a scoop tone, bass boosted, treble boosted, mid and notch. Alright. Mid boosted. So that's lovely. Front pickup, same thing. So it's absolutely wicked. The rear pickup is killer too. Let's just go with the mid boosted and bass boosted treble cup. It's an awesome tone. Add the treble. So I mean, just faultless. This instrument is faultless. Stunning work. I highly recommend them. Let's go on the rear pickup, treble and mid up, and get that loop down. Okay, here we go. Then here's the chords. There we go. Let's turn everything, let's go balanced and turn the bass up too. Nice. Okay, now what I want to do is go on the front pickup, go over a scoop sound on the front pickup. So that's the mid is cut, bass and treble is boosted. Okay, I got it. I thought I missed. I thought I missed a step there on the looper pedal, but you got it. And that's a lovely biting sound, isn't it? There, that you can hear. Excuse me, it's so extremely hot here. Let's go on the rear pickup again now. This time we'll cut the treble and boost the mid and bass. Oh yeah. There we go, that's got everything happening. Alright, what I want to do next is go balance with everything turned up, and just put down the melody line. That all in the background there. Now we've got that funk happening. So yeah, this is my own track. It's called Catch It Fall. If you like it, you can download it here. So now that you've heard the bass in action, let me address some of the common questions that arise about Moon, because unfortunately they're not as well known as they used to be. Brief history, they were established in the late 70s, and they were a small group of top-notch luthiers in Japan who wanted to make high-end basses for professionals, not just basses, guitars as well, of course. And they've been very successful, especially throughout the 80s and the first half of the 90s, partially because of some of the high-profile endorsements that they had, like especially Larry Graham, who came on board in the mid-80s, I believe, and he still uses Moon. In fact, we have made, through Bass Japan Direct, we've had maybe 4 order-made Larry Graham signature models so far. They've been fairly popular, and they are excellent. Oh, just a minute, doorbell. As I was saying, yeah, very small band of top-notch luthiers who established PGM, which is Moon PGM. PGM stands for Professional Guitar Manufacturers, and they've been going ever since. And their instruments are some of the best builds that you could possibly get, you know. And money-wise, you're looking at builds that are between sort of $2,000 and $4,000 usually for Moon, for their entire range. There are a few which are a little bit more expensive than that, but they're like the really boutique builds, you know. Anyway, I thoroughly recommend them, and this particular one is actually on sale at the moment, so you can check it out right there, make it yours today. What else do I want to say about Moon? Okay, another question that we get is, or that I've seen being asked, is that are Moon just a generic sort of export label, mass-produced? No, absolutely not. The answer is absolutely the opposite. In fact, they are not a mass-produced brand at all. In fact, their output is very small. It's about 400 instruments per year, and that's across the board. You know, they do basses and guitars, so it's a tiny amount, really. And they focus on quality, not quantity. Everything is handmade. So that answers that. And no, they are not an export label. They are a domestic brand in Japan, and they are very famous in Japan too, because we've had endorsing artists in Japan are many. For example, the band T Square, the bass player from T Square, is a Moon endorser, and still is, you know, and he's still active. There are many famous Japanese musicians who endorse Moon. So in Japan they are fairly widely known, but again, the market that they're known to is not the younger market, not the younger generations so much, but you know, people, players are like myself, are above 30, in their 40s or 50s and so on, know about Moon very well, and I think that's the same in the rest of the world too, because of, you know, their presence was strong in the late 80s and in the early 90s. Of course, when I was growing up in the early 90s, as a teenager learning guitar at that time, you know, I had heard of Larry Graham, of course, by then, and his white signature bass was famous, you know, and that was a Moon. So there you go. Yes, and as you can hear, it's just absolutely perfect up and down the neck. It's a perfect fit, perfect finish. Build quality is top notch. The materials are top notch. This ebony is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. Quarter sawn maple neck. Yep, great pickups, hand wound. You know, you can't fault them, guys. I'm sure that even if you have never laid hands on a Moon, if you bought one, you would not return it. You would be very happy with it. I'm absolutely certain of that, and I guarantee you, every time you take it to a luthier to set it up at your end, if you need to ever take it to a luthier to set it up, they are gonna love it, you know, and they will tell you how well made it is. So yeah, this one is immediately available. Have at it. It's at the link there. And if you want one in a different color, that is possible. You can get these in pretty much any color you want. You can also ask for solid colors if you please. The world is your oyster.